T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Jones messed with the wrong melon farmers. Thug life. And here we go.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew hell would not have him.
You are all my children now.
This is as far as you go. No more.
Hello, Sydney. Are you God damn me.
Wish I had you all alone, just the two of us.
Ooh, baby, 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 ooh, baby.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today it's Sunday. It's Sunday Horror Hangout, and with me on Sundays, as always, is Mad Matt from Mad Matt's Mask. What's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Michael, but you say as always, it doesn't feel as always. I have missed the shit out of you guys, Michael, and being on this show, man. It's something that's very special to me. I absolutely love to end my week, Sunday doing this with you guys, man. And I don't even know how long I've been off. It seems like, a month and a half, 2 months, but
I think it's been like 3 weeks, but still, it feels long enough.
Dude,
right?
it does,
Yeah.
man. But dude, great to see you, man.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with you at the shop this weekend, which was very cool.
It was
Very,
cool
very-
to be up there this weekend, man. Like, I haven't been up there like that, in a while, and it was definitely a good time, man, for sure.
Right on. dude, all of you guys on the show, man. Dude. It's been too long, Michael. I'm stoked to be on here. Thank you as always for having me.
Hell yeah, man.
We got some really cool stuff to cover, and I'm stoked, buddy. I'm stoked. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. And and I'll say what's up to everybody in the chat. Like the chat's been going for probably close to a half an hour at this point, so I'll do my best to
That's on
address
me.
everybody in the chat.
That's on me.
It's all
technical
good, man.
difficulties, guys. I'm sorry.
It's definitely all good, but yeah, man, we got some cool stuff to go over. But one thing that I want to talk about, like tonight, we're gonna talk some horror news, we're gonna hang out with the chat, but next Sunday, this is building towards next Sunday. We have the channel 5K celebration, man. 5,000 subscribers. And we will be celebrating that next week. We'll be playing some games. The show will probably maybe start a little earlier and go a little later, with it being a celebration. And I can't wait to do that and celebrate with all you fine people that have made this happen. It's just gonna be so much fun, dude, and I cannot wait until next week. I cannot wait to do that.
Yeah, Michael, you're so right, man. I know I speak for everyone, but guys, and you're right. You've said it a million times. It is everybody's, effort. But for one, man, congrats to you. You put a ton of work in.
Thank you.
Like I said, I know I speak for everyone, but guys, how crazy is it? 5 and counting. Like, just dude, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome, dude. This is pretty much the only channel that I come on. Down the road, with some of your friends, like, and our good people like Clayton and stuff, I may do a show here and there with them. But as far as like, my introduction to all of this and YouTube and everything, you are it, man. And, in this show. So I don't know a whole lot about, how it feels with everybody else, but it doesn't really matter. Cause as soon as I started this with you and like, our regulars that started coming on, dude, I just had this feeling, and I knew that there was something absolutely special about this channel, and there is, man. And it's the people that come on, dude, and they come on, every Sunday, and shoot the shit with us, and they're passionate, man. But dude, it's awesome. 5,000 counting, man. Congrats, and dude, I can't wait to see what comes next, man.
Yeah, man. It's you said it, dude. You said the biggest point that I want to make about these celebrations and the hitting these milestones is it's the people, man. Like, if we're sitting here talking to nobody, you know what I mean? What's the point? It's what I look forward to is hanging out with all you great people in the chat. All the guests that I have come on this show. It's always a good time. And when you talk about what this channel and the Sunday stream was really what started the live streams. I mean, I went live a couple times before the Sunday show, but it was more of me trying to learn StreamYard, how everything works. And it's just god awful. Like, when you watch my first stream, it's cringeworthy, but I don't take it down, and I've said this before, dude, I'll never take it down. It will always be there. No matter how far the show goes, that first stream will always be there, bro. To just look, if I influence you to do anything with YouTube whatsoever, and I will tell you guys this: don't be afraid to get on camera and talk about your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because you're going to have people that agree with you, people that disagree with you, but when you have a community like this, it's so easy, because you can look at all these different people in this chat and they all have different opinions on different horror movies. And the fact that we all come together to talk about not only those differences, but the genre that we all love, it's fantastic. Like, it really is, man. Looking at the big picture, dude, it is fantastic. I fucking love it, dude.
And I can say, Michael,
this early in the show, but I do. I fucking love it.
I could definitely say, like, when you say, like, it doesn't matter the difference in opinion, you definitely back that up. Just the fact that you bring me on here, I'm the guy that probably disagrees with you more than anybody that I know of, and here I am right by your side, man. Chatting it up, man. So, and like I've told you, just like with just talking with people, on here, and at the booth, man.
Yeah,
Dude, everyone has a different view of horror.
they do.
So it's almost like if you can't accept that, you got to get out, man. Like you just got to be friendly about it, talk about it, and move on. I mean, just everybody looks at it differently, and that's cool. But yeah, we all love horror, man. We're all here for horror.
Yeah. Yeah, and usually I go through the chat person by person. I want to give a big blanket hello to everyone tonight, just for the simple fact that the chat has been going for a while, and it would take a very long time, for me to get through. But I see all the regulars are here. I want to give a shout out to my mods that are in the chat. Definitely, I've got Jerry, I've got Michelle, I've got Lydia. I've got Val, the general. Got to throw the salute to the general. Always throwing the salute to the general. Did I miss anybody that I have in the chat? Clayton's in the chat, and I
What's up,
think I got
Clayton?
all the mods, but there's just so many people.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you, Michael. Do we have a Jen and Sarah in the chat?
Not that I have seen yet, but Jim and Sarah, if you were in the chat, say what's up. I will
So
see it.
Jen,
At the very
not
bottom.
Jim, but Jen.
Jen, yes.
Yeah. Let me know. Yeah. So, right on, man.
Let me go ahead and go through these, though. I have quite a few starred chats here, and I want to make sure that I get through everybody. It looks like Jerry has gifted one Movies and Beyond membership. Jerry, thank you so much, my friend. Like, it means the world to me. Dude, you have no freaking idea how much it means to me. And Jerry has actually gifted two. And looking down, it looks like Jerry has gifted three. So it's Jerry. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it more than you know, dude. More than you know.
Nice.
And it looks like Eric from the Bearded Entertainment has been a member for 3 months. What's up, Eric? Congratulations, my friend, and thank you, for the support of Movies and Beyond. Being here for 3 months, brother. I want to say thank you a million times, bro. Thank you so much.
And also, hello, Eric. I miss shooting the shit with you on here, buddy. It's good to see you, man. Very good to see you. And I do want to say a big what's up to my buddy Trey. I believe Trey is on there. Very, very good friend of mine. What's up, Trey? I hope you enjoy the show, man.
Okay. Looks like Jen is in the chat right here.
Oh,
So
nice.
there it
Nice.
is. Thank you for that. And Sarah, oh my God, I forgot Sarah. God, Sarah, I'm sorry. I'm
Jen,
so
Sarah,
sorry.
what's up?
There's just so many, this is my skills at going through the chat. So they are flawed. I've never been one to say that they're not. A million apologies, Sarah. A million. And Sarah is in the chat. So definitely wanted to give a shout out to my mods. The fact that I missed Sarah is going to make me feel horrible for the next 3 to 4 days. Sarah, please forgive me for that. Definitely a huge part of my moderation team right there. Oh God, I feel terrible. And Clayton has donated $5 and he said, "Hey Matt, what's Lydia feeding you? Looking a little dark around the eyes there, buddy. What is it? What is going on
man,
there?"
Yeah, that's all me, man. I do my own diet, and we'll talk about that because it is sad. It is poor, man. It is poor. It's that busy guy eating that gas station. It's so bad, man. It's so bad.
Did you say gas station?
I did, dude. I did. I didn't want you to repeat it, but you did. I wanted to say it like with
and
a
here
cough,
we are.
but yeah, Clayton, what's up, buddy? And then I do want to stop back with to Jen for a second. She got a chance to come in with her wife Sarah and see the booth for the first time. They bought some awesome collectibles, and I just want to say that I appreciate that, and it was so great to see you, the wonderful ladies, and then coming on here to this show. Hope you enjoy it. Michael puts on the best shows, man. So it's great to see you guys.
I do my best. And I also want to give a shout out to Melissa, also who has hit 3 months as a member. Melissa, the wild card, in the chat, saying you have a wonderful channel and people here. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you so much for being a channel member, and congratulations on 3 months. I think you get like a new little emblem at 3 months. I'm gonna have to definitely take a look at that. I think so.
Maybe I do need Lydia to cook a little bit more, start helping with these eyes. Now that I'm thinking about it, Clayton.
And then Jerry as well has hit 3 months too. Jerry, dude, you are one of the dude. Congratulations for hitting 3 months, and thank you a million times for being here, my friend. Jerry is a great friend, man, and dude, thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, I've actually. What's up, Jerry? I've not, got a chance to talk to you in a long time, buddy. So, what's up, man? Good to see you on here. Good to see you on here.
And of course, Michelle's calling me out for that. I know I feel absolutely terrible, Michelle. I freaking do. Jen is saying it's all good. Sarah, she's a quiet one anyway. I don't know. I don't know about that.
She's talking about a different Sarah, Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Spirit Brothers UK. Guys, I'm new here, but I love the paranormal. We all got to stick together. So please drop them a sub and hit that thumbs up. Loving this channel, brother. Look, man, I believe that I saw you guys on here for the first time last Friday during Paranormal Friday. And to get,
that's awesome.
for you guys to come and check this out and to be having such a great time. Like, we're going to talk about paranormal. We're going to talk about slashers. Friday is straight paranormal. But welcome to Movies and Beyond. Love having you here. Definitely love having you here.
Is this the same Spirit Brothers that they go to a lot of conventions and just super cool? I don't know, but if it's who I'm thinking, they're super cool guys.
Well, I know they're in the UK. They have talked about that, so I don't know. I honestly don't know for sure.
Okay.
Let's see. Sean Hess is in the chat as well. Sean Hess.
What's up, Sean? Man? What's up, Sean? Good to see you, buddy.
What is up? T-Bone Officials in the chat saying, "What up, dudes? What's going on?"
Dude, Michael, you would probably know Tristan if you saw him. He's been in the booth quite a few times, and I want to give a shout out that next Friday, Michael, you're something I want to run by you. You're more than welcome to join us. But Tristan is in a pretty badass, from what I hear, rock group, and he'll be playing at JD Legends this coming Friday. So I'm going down. Mad Mom, Mad Dad, we're all going down. But I just can't wait to see it. So yeah, check that out, guys. His band is it's called That Arena Rock Show, and they'll be in JD Legends right there in Franklin, Ohio this Friday. So yeah, check that out.
That's awesome, man.
Dude, he's such a good dude. Just met him through the booth, and he's a big fan of horror, man. So yeah, what's up, Tristan?
Hell yeah. And welcome to Movies and Beyond. Sure. Mr. Rick has thrown a $2 super chat saying, "Going to Horror Hound in September. Hope to see you." That's awesome, Mr. Rick. That is so awesome. Hell yeah, man. And he's also gifted a Movies and Beyond membership. Mr. Rick, you are the man, sir. Thank you so much.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I know Mr. Rick that well. Has he been coming on for a while now?
Yeah, Mr. Rick's, he's a channel member. He's a Patreon member. Mr. Rick has been here for a few months now. Definitely a few months. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mr. Rick, Mad Matt's Mask will be vending at Horror Hound. We'll be somewhere like in some of the one of the main aisles there. So please, man, come look for us and come say hello, so I can meet you in person. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Let's talk some horror. You want to talk some horror news?
Absolutely.
A little bit of horror news, because I definitely want to get into that tonight.
Let the real mask out here.
Yeah. All right. I definitely want to get in it. And let me set this up for you guys, bring this article up, because it's a little confusing for me, because first I was told that this was happening. Then I read that he wasn't going to be there. And now I'm to understand that he is going to be there. And what I'm talking about is Bill Skarsgård for the Welcome to Derry show. He is now officially going to be Pennywise in Welcome to Derry. And let me just say this, Matt, before we really start talking about, actually, let me say two quick things. One, let me start here, because the second thing, Michelle has gifted 5 Movies and Beyond memberships. Michelle, thank you so much for everything that you do for this channel. And if you guys didn't notice, there is a poll up for our Movies and Beyond trip to Waverly Hills, which is definitely going to be a blast, and I cannot wait. Again, she has helped me with that as well, getting stuff together for that. And I just want to thank you a million times for everything that you've been doing for the channel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I second that. Thank you. All your mods. I don't say that enough. I know they're not my mods, they're your mods, but I just want to say it as well. Like, the mods kick ass, dude. And yeah. For what it's worth, Matt says thank you as well.
So awesome. But so with Skarsgård returning for it, like without him, I was having a hard time being excited for it. Like you obviously know that Tim Curry's never coming back to the role, but Skarsgård filled in for It 1 and It 2. I really liked It 1. It 2 was it was okay. But he's come to be Pennywise to me. You know what I mean? A modern, the more modern time Pennywise. And if we were going to have to go with a different person, I just wasn't as excited. Not to say that it would have been bad or not to say that it would have been, good, but to me, this solidifies it more to me. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about Skarsgård coming back to reprise his role as Pennywise for the Welcome to Derry show?
I was hoping you would ask, Michael. I was hoping you would ask. I have a lot of feelings about this whole entire situation. Now, I get my news basically from two different places. Here with you and through Lydia. She stays up on a lot of news. I pretty much just work and sleep. So that's where I get a lot of my news. And the first news I heard was that he was not coming back as Pennywise. Right. Okay. That's what I heard first. And then there's two ways I look at this. And this is with just about everything, Michael. When someone that, kills something, and say doesn't necessarily come back. Yes, that can really suck, but that's also how we get our Heath Ledgers as Joker. When I first heard of Heath Ledger as Joker and we all loved, Jack. I mean, Jack was killer, Honestly, when I first heard Heath Ledger, I was like, what? Like what? The pretty boy from, 10 Things I Hate About You and this, that, and the other. And then when the movie was over, I was speechless with my jaw on the floor, Yeah. So it's just never, don't forget that as killer as someone can be, someone else can always step in there and shock you as well. True. So that's once I heard that Bill, was not coming back, I was disappointed because I'm right there with you, dude. I loved Tim Curry. I grew up on Tim Curry's Pennywise. But when I saw it 2017 and then the prequel and everything, dude, I had a similar reaction to the Heath Ledger. I thought he absolutely nailed it. Yeah, he nailed it and made it his own as well. He just wasn't being Tim Curry over again or anything like that. Right. So that's where I was. I heard he wasn't coming back. I'll try not to talk forever. I heard he wasn't coming back. So I tried to get a positive mindset, like, hey, maybe some, young up and comer or just whoever will come and, and shock us all. Yeah. But dude, then when I heard, from you, and Lydia that he is coming back, dude, I'm so stoked because believe me, as positive as I was trying to think, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. I wanted Skarsgård, and I'm just a big Skarsgård fan all around. I really am. I think he's very versatile. Most, his movies, I'm pretty much on board with him. And I love his Pennywise, dude. I absolutely love his Pennywise. Yeah. And when people ask me about, which one you like better or whatever, I don't really pick a side. I think they're so different and they're both great in their own way, but they're both, I think, in my opinion, absolutely magnificent. So, yeah, man, I'm stoked that he's coming back, buddy. Yeah. But If you can take away anything from what I'm saying is when that does happen, just kind of remember that, like that's how people have that chance to come in and shine as well. So
that is true, but I feel comfortable knowing he's going to be there.
right.
So
it's a comfortable answer.
That's the
to
biggest
say,
thing, man. I'm not saying like,
Yeah.
somebody else couldn't do it, but like when you get the Heath Ledgers and you get the Ben Affleck as Batman, you get Robert Pattinson as, but when you get these new actors, it's always like, how are they going to do? You know what I mean? Like that's what you're looking into. Skarsgård, you already know he's going to kill it as Pennywise. So now I'm like, okay, well, they've got Pennywise locked down, because we already know he can do his thing. Now, how good's the story going to be?
Yeah, now
how
get your
good's
substance.
how good's the surrounding characters going to be? Because you already know that this dude is going to bring it as Pennywise. One thing about Bloody Disgusting that is aggravating me so much is the amount of ads that they are putting in everything these days. I'm telling you, it's killing me. But what this article is saying is the upcoming series will premiere sometime in 2025. The series will be a prequel to the two Stephen King It-based movies from Andy Muschietti. Skarsgård is set to star and executive produce. So not only will he be, the Pennywise, but he is going to executive produce, which, that's not too uncommon. But the mere fact that he will have some say, in some things, that's always a plus, because he's very familiar with the role, and if they're wanting him to do something, maybe being an executive producer, not saying that he could totally, but maybe he could say, well, I don't think Pennywise would do that. Why don't we try it this way? You know what I mean? Because I've done this role, and I pretty much, become that character.
He's felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are saying the series will begin in the 1960s in the time leading up to the events of It Part 1. The 2017 film based on Stephen King's horror novel. The story is also said to include the origin story of Pennywise the Clown. So, two things with that. One, how many years is it that Pennywise goes away and comes back?
Oh God, is it like 17, 18? Is
something like that?
Am I way off? Or
if this is the events leading up to it and it's in the 1960s, I would have to go back and see when It Part 1 took place. Like, what was the time frame of that to kind of put that together? Because I probably haven't seen the first. It's probably been a year, close to a year since I
have that very fresh, dude. I literally grew up on that. And if I had to say right off the rip, I'd say like the setting and the kids' clothing looks very late 70s, early 80s to me, if I was to give a ballpark.
Okay, so this would be prior to that then. This would be the time before that.
I would think. I would think.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it again.
They're definitely not in like the 50s.
Right. So, yeah, and I mean, that's interesting. Those are all things to look at to be like, hell yeah. Like, I don't see them running into each other because the characters that played the kids, from the It Chapter 1, will have definitely aged out by now. You know what I mean? And they're probably full grown, not looking anything like they did back then. So I don't see those two bumping into each other. The show with.
What would be cool though is to get some like cameos, maybe like a Seth Green cameo. He was one of the original kids in the first It. Just a cameo. I just think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure they'll do stuff like that. I don't know, who it would be, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. Let's see what this says. See, this article's jumping around everywhere, and this is so annoying. Published in 1986, Stephen King's massive novel was, of course, first turned into a miniseries in 1990 with Tim Curry playing the role later played by Bill Skarsgård in the movies. The tale centers around the town of Derry, Maine, where a group of friends called the Losers Club battle Pennywise and the Killer Clowns first as kids, then 27 years later as adults. So maybe it's a 27-year gap in between, right? I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess I was way off.
Yeah, well, either way.
What my mind goes to is Jeepers Creepers, which is 23. I've got that on lockdown. But
I definitely know that one for sure.
Aside from that, you go to It. I'm like, I don't know, 10, 30.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at it, this way too, I see like I've totally fallen behind on the chat again. But James asked, what's the time frame, on this. So I know that they've shown like little clips through like HBO ads, but nothing big. But what they did show, I felt like they had started filming already if they had things like that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have, but there is some sort of footage out there of the show Welcome to Derry. Now, the thing that kind of gets with me, and I talked to you a little bit about this today, was if they had started filming a little bit, then, and they're just now saying Skarsgård is coming, I don't feel like they did too much. But I also know that this was delayed by the SAG-AFTRA strike. So when we had that strike, that delayed it. This was originally supposed to come out in October of this year. It was supposed to come out in October of 2024, but now it's looking like a mid 2025 release before we're going to see anything. With them just now announcing Skarsgård, that makes me feel like they haven't filmed anything with him in it yet. That's just the impression I get. I'm not saying I know that for sure, but it's definitely the impression that I'm getting is they haven't really done jack with him yet.
Trying to give you guys a little Pennywise here if I can. There he is.
Trying to get him in frame there.
Yeah. I should have worked on that, pre-show. But.
Yeah. There were other things that were hindering pre-show today.
And he looks so good. He looked so good and so different. When you have usually when there's a popular character or creature and it's just completely different, most people end up hating it. Am I right? If it's just too different from what they're used to. But dude, this clown looked completely different than the original. And dude, I love the way he looked. Love the way he looked.
Oh yeah.
What'd you think about that, Michael? Like as far as just character, presence and the look of Pennywise.
I think he did a great job, man. And he definitely, was not trying to imitate Tim Curry. He kind of brought his own flavor to it. And definitely had its moments, man, where it was really good. Now, there are things like with Tim Curry's It, me being the age that I am and growing up watching it at the time that I did, there are just things about Tim Curry's Pennywise that scared the hell out of me as a kid. And that stuff just doesn't really go anywhere. Now, seeing Bill Skarsgård, I'm looking at him like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. But it didn't have the same impact on me due to the fact that I was in my late 30s when I saw it for the first time. It's just not going to have that same impact. Not saying one was better than the other, but you're definitely going to lean towards your favorites because of the time frame and how they made you feel the first time you saw it. So I'll always have that. Tim Curry to me was the clown that was standing behind with that face that was just, oh god, dude, like it was crazy. And I don't think that'll ever be replaced for me in my mind.
I agree 100%. When I saw him for the first time as a young kid, dude, he was terrifying. He was freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
And it was simple shots that were terrifying. When they leave the house, when he's talking to the old lady, turns around and he's just on the porch waving, dude. It's like, no, it was for me. It was the simple shots that were just done so well.
Yeah.
He was so badass, dude. I love that movie. I'm an It fanatic, guys. I am. I'm stoked about this Welcome to Derry. Like for me, I want to say Terrifier, watch out. Like I do. I love Terrifier. I do love Terrifier, but not near as much as I do my It and my Pennywise, man.
But see, that's kind of falling in line too, like with Welcome to Derry coming out, and then you also have the Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake series coming out. They talked about a Halloween series coming out. You've got the Chucky series that's out. You're starting to see that trend, that type of horror starting to go, to these streaming services, which I really don't think is a bad idea. I know that we are very particular about these movies because it's the genre that we love so much. When you start to look at Halloween, it's like, oh, be careful. I look at Friday the 13th, I'm like, make sure you're doing it right. And Friday the 13th has been a mess since 2010. Like they had the movie in 2009. It came out with a banger fucking box opening, and then it dropped off like 80% the second week. And Friday the 13th just hasn't. We had court battles. Several movies scrapped. And now, they're moving A24 is doing different things than they originally thought with Crystal Lake, and it's just like now they're postponing that, and it's just like, as a Friday the 13th fan, it's just like, here we go again. This has been the story for the last 15 years for us. Like, this is where we've been at, so it doesn't surprise me. But seeing Welcome to Derry coming in, them confirming Skarsgård, it makes me feel confident that they'll be going in the right direction, and I just hope that the others follow suit for sure.
I agree with you on saying just that. Say for whatever reason we don't have a movie coming, or we can't get a movie. I am absolutely not against a series, because if I can think of a lot of newer series, there's not a lot that I look at. There's some old ones, like remember that weird Friday the 13th series, and there's been some weird ones back in the day. But as far as like some of the newer ones that have come out, like say Bates Motel, the Chucky series and stuff, they've all, in my opinion, been done, fairly well and enjoyable. So, I don't want a series to come out that's just completely, just complete shit and weird. Yeah. But if that's what I have, as opposed to a movie, I'll take it. Yeah. It's like when the Jason stuff started dropping and they were talking all this stuff about video games and stuff. For you gamers, that's fantastic. I'm not a gamer, so I could care less. Like, what do I have as far as like to watch my boy Jason or Michael? So yeah, if we can't get a movie, let's do a series. And it could even shock me and be fantastic. So
yeah, I mean, and you hope for that, dude. Like, I don't want anything to fail. I want more. I want more,
especially in our genre.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's I never want any of these to fail. You get nervous about these things because you love them so much, and we've talked about that in the past. Like, I do get nervous about this because I want it to be good. I want to have, more content of the stuff that I like, that I actually enjoy, and they're not making Michael get beat up by a band kid, or a kid that got beat up by band kids, rather. Those are the types of things when you look back and say, okay, with Halloween, especially, and they're going back into John Carpenter's first story, of the original Halloween, yes, that sounds awesome. But at the same time, I'm just like, please don't mess this up.
No, I'm scared to death with that as well, because yes, it does sound awesome. Yeah. If done right, it does sound awesome, but it sounds dangerous too. Like, it sounds, because that's, if you ask me, that's the only way to go with that at this point right now where we are, with how ends went and just everything, and the Rob Zombie trilogy. We got to go back. We got to hit the restart button, if you ask me. Yeah. So it's like they have the right idea. So just execute it. Execute it correctly. For sure.
Mad Mom saying my favorite Tim Curry performance was in the movie Clue. I laughed so hard. The next day. If you haven't seen it, it's a must watch. Yes,
dude,
it's been a while since I've seen it.
That's no joke. I mean, it's not my absolute favorite Tim Curry, but it's a stupid good performance. Like, you remember that movie, right, Michael?
Yeah,
Clue?
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I couldn't quote it, at this point. But yes, I remember Clue with Tim Curry.
Mother, I could not agree with you more. He is fantastic in that.
He's good in a lot of stuff that he's in.
He's one of those. He's so versatile too. Lydia talks a lot about him in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. As Doctor, I can't pronounce it, but and just loves that performance of him, which I have not seen that. But yeah, dude, you do that, you do this drag queen, you do Pennywise, you do Clue, dude.
He has a lot of range. He has a lot of range.
He does. Yeah, he absolutely does.
Clayton from Ages of Film donates $5, saying, Matt, you should come on my channel once Terrifier 3 comes out, and we could talk. I'm assuming Terrifier for a bit. Michael, you're always welcome too. Oh, thanks, buddy. Terrifier 3.
Clayton, I actually, I actually almost, I was getting ready to message you. I got a couple pictures of a piece I picked up recently. I want to send out to you, and I would be honored to come on your show. Things are about to slow down for me. You know, we got one more move coming up, which I'll talk about here when we get a chance. But when all that settles down, man, which should be in the next probably month or so, or a couple weeks, I would love to be on your show, dude.
Oh yeah, man.
Thank you for asking.
Mr. Rick is saying, "Hey, them band kids was tough dudes."
Dude, God, how they paired against Michael from Kills, dude? Come on, come on. Trained firefighters with weapons in their hand had no
I'm
chance.
just gonna hold up my hands and just be like, "Oh my God, oh no."
Yeah, I don't even talk about ends anymore.
Michelle's saying, "What?" I wonder if that's to do with.
I retired from talking about ends. I don't have that energy anymore.
Oh my God. But yeah, man. So you know, we have Skarsgård coming back, and that's cool. And then there's something else I wanted to talk about on here as well. Some more horror news that we got just a couple days ago. But you know, a couple days ago, it's old news to everybody at this point. But you know, we have a Sunday show, and I definitely wanted to wait. You know,
unless you're me,
on here.
I wait for Sunday.
But officially, Mike Flanagan is officially set to write and direct all new Exorcist film for Blumhouse.
Who the fuck is Mike Flanagan?
Really?
I'm just kidding. I got Lydia flipping me off over here. I was just trying to get a rise, man, and I got it.
Really?
I got it. All right. Sorry, Michael.
No, but so, you know, and some of the things, you know, with this, first of all, let me ask you this. How do you feel about this news getting that Mike Flanagan is going to take over The Exorcist?
Okay. I've really never been more 50-50, Michael. That's the best way I can describe it. I like some of Mike Flanagan's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I loved
Hush. I really liked Hush.
I liked Hush as well. I liked Hush. I really enjoyed The Haunting of Hill House. Did not care much for its sequel. I know a lot of people did. The one I was talking about with you this weekend, Midnight Mass. And for not really being my cup of tea, of more of a slow burn, I still, when it was over, man, gave it a pretty big thumbs up. It just executed very well. I just don't know to be honest, I don't know if I have seen enough from him to say that he's the right guy for Exorcist. Does that make sense? You know, and a lot of his stuff is paranormal, but there's still a difference from, you know, even paranormal has its, you know, genres, if you ask me, has its different, you know, substances. So dude, I'm really 50-50 because he's a lot more of a slow burn, and I don't see that. To me, an Exorcist needs that scene or two where you're like really grossed out and shocked at the same time. They need that what the moment, right? In my opinion, like that original had and some of the great ones have. And I just haven't really seen that in Flanagan's, you know, stuff. So, but he's very creative. We'll see, buddy. That's where I'm at, you know?
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I can't say I love it. I just hope he does it justice, because I'm a big Exorcist fan, but those movies have always been hit or miss, if you ask me. You know, where are you at?
So it's kind of tough for me. Just because I feel like he's walking into not a great situation, if that makes sense, with The Exorcist, because I'm not saying he's not a good director. He is. He's done some cool stuff. But I just know that I wouldn't want to be in that situation because of what Exorcist Believer did. You know, whether we liked it or didn't, you know, box office number wise, it was just, you know, abysmal. But now you're in charge of trying to, make this up. Like we talked about the $400 million they paid for the rights to make The Exorcist. We talked about the small amount of money it made and how, a big portion of that goes to theaters, to where, and they had to pay for the cost of the movie. So they're so far behind on the 8 ball on that $400 million for these 3 movies. He's going to have to come up with something great. You know what I mean? To try to make that up. And then when you have a movie with such a name like The Exorcist, like it can't be a
run of the mill.
It can't be a generic possession movie and expect to make some of that up. So the fact that he's to write and direct it, I'm just gonna have to say we'll see. You know what I mean? Like I hate to be that guy to say that I'm not this or that. It's more of a we'll see. It's probably the best they can really do with it. I just hope that
he's a legit director.
He is.
I feel like they need Flanagan for the story and substance, and a tad bit of Rob Zombie for the what the F is going on here. I feel like that's what it needs, honestly. Dude, I think we see eye to eye on this. Like, what can you do with it? I just don't want a super, super slow burn with very little to be seen, because he can kind of do that, kind of like the less is more, like more of the suspense type of, angle, make you think a little bit more, which can be cool. But I think he needs to push himself a little bit more for that, to be edgy. I think that's a good word. To be a little bit more edgy than he is used to. And I love it. At this point, Michael, I'm with this on a lot of things. I like nothing's going to compete with the original Exorcist or anything, but I'll take a decent Exorcist movie any day and roll with it. So I would love him to produce, a solid, decent Exorcist film.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I just, I hope, I want it to be good. That I do. It's just hard to say, like he's going to be the one to come in. And yes. John is saying something here. He's saying his saving grace is the fact that Believer was pretty much universally panned, so this will be judged against that. And that's kind of like what I was talking about when, I said that he's in a bad situation. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be, directly correlated with that. And the thing is it's just like how many people who didn't enjoy Exorcist Believer are gonna go back to see a part 2. You know what I mean? If it already didn't do well, how many people are going to go back to the theater and say, oh, I want to see part 2 of that movie that I didn't really like.
And that's a movie I did not hate. I did not hate. I'm going to use the restroom real quick, Michael.
Sure.
Keep on going on Exorcist. I'll be right.
Yeah. Sure. So, I mean, those are the things with this. And, it's tough to say, but I don't know. I hope it's good. I do. I was one of the people that was disappointed in, The Exorcist Believer. So hopefully this one, brings me back to seeing something that I want to see. But what the article is saying, it's official. Mike Flanagan is set to write and direct and produce the new Exorcist film for Blumhouse and Universal, but don't expect a sequel to 2023's The Exorcist Believer. Flanagan will offer a radical new take on The Exorcist. So that's interesting. It's saying don't expect a sequel. So I didn't read this article prior to doing that. So that kind of changes things. So if he's going to go ahead and just abandon that story, I mean, if I'm reading that right, correct, that he's going to kind of do his own thing and maybe that'll be good. To reiterate, the new film will tell an all-new story set in the Exorcist universe and is not a sequel to David Gordon Green's Exorcist Believer. Plans for a trilogy are no longer moving forward. So wow, maybe I should have skimmed the article before we got started, so that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And actually it makes me feel better about it, to be honest with you. It makes me feel like, I want to see this more now that it's not going to continue with The Exorcist Believer. So yeah, that I'm happy about that. I'm definitely happy about that. Let's see. Jerry's throwing out, consider becoming a Movies and Beyond member. Awesome exclusive content, and he leaves the link below. Thank you for that, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. Val is saying, yep, not going with the trilogy anymore. So that's okay. I feel better about that. I definitely feel better about that. Let's see. John is saying The Exorcist 3 is good. Yeah, Exorcist 3 was good. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I didn't really I remember liking that one. I definitely do. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Mike's voice and visions are indispensable of horror fans who are excited to welcome him back to Blumhouse. I immediately responded to Mike's new take on the world of The Exorcist and can't wait for audiences to experience it, said Jason Blum, founder and CEO of Blumhouse. It's an honor to be working with Mike. I think that his vision of the franchise is going to stun audiences worldwide, and I could not be more excited working with him. Trevor, Jason, and the entire Blumhouse team, said David Robinson, chairman and CEO of Morgan Creek. So that's good news. Like, this is me hearing the news for the first time. So for them to do something entirely new, like, that is freaking awesome. Oh, that is so freaking awesome. So Matt, while you were gone, I was reading along in this article, and I guess he's not continuing the Exorcist Believer, and he's going to start his own Exorcist. So it looks like they've abandoned the trilogy idea, and he's going to be doing his own thing. So that's
Okay.
How do you feel about that now? That he's going to be doing his own stuff.
That's smart.
I think so too.
That's smart.
I think it is.
It's smart, and I hate it for who was it Blumhouse who had the original idea for the trilogy, correct?
Well, they were the ones that bought the rights to make a trilogy. Yes.
So yeah,
or who had the rights to make a trilogy.
I'll kind of always wonder, because like I've told you, I'm not saying it was a juggernaut of a film, but I liked it. I liked the last Exorcist movie, and I was on board to see what he was going to do with the other ones. But yeah, if I'm Mike Flanagan, it was nothing special that I would want to do. I would want to rewrite it and do my own thing as well, and he's at that point. He's established himself enough where, if that's what he says, they're going to go with. Yeah. I think that's better news. It's funny. While I was just on my little restroom break there, we need something, guys, that, there's been a lot of horror movies that come out. They're decent. We need something that really is just like, holy shit, that people can't stop talking about it. It'd be great. I feel like we're due for something like that.
Yeah.
One of the better ones I think I've seen in a long time was, maybe it was just because it was very different. It was like a I thought Talk to Me was very, very good. Mm-hmm. And then Late Night with the Devil. Those are two that come into my mind. Aside from those, there hasn't been a lot really going on that are unique, their own thing, and well done.
I am seeing a question from Clayton. Wait, so are they remaking the OG or just doing a reimagining? So what the article said is, to reiterate, the new film will tell an all new story set in the Exorcist universe and is not a sequel. So if, Believer was, a sequel, to the original Exorcist, I guess this is going to be pretty much its own story. I don't see them retelling anything from what I'm reading here. It's just going to be an all new story. And I think that that's, definitely a good direction for them to go in. especially, with how, the last one went, as a whole. I think that if that was probably something that he was saying too, to them, like, I'll do it if, that's just me speculating, that's
Oh,
not
I can
written
see it.
anywhere. You know
I
what I
can-
mean? That's
I
just
can
pure
see it.
speculation on my point. But I have a feeling that that was probably in the negotiations for him to take that over. I mean, he'd have to, right?
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Yeah. And when you're a well-known director such as a Mike Flanagan, you can negotiate, man.
Yeah.
If they want you, here's what I want,
Hell yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Did you have some stuff that you wanted to show on the show tonight?
dude, yes, I would absolutely love to show some stuff.
Let's do some Mad Matt stuff.
Last time we talked, man, I know I showed. I'll kick it off. Last time I was with you guys, I was showing you the collectibles that Mad Mom and Mad Dad were going to be getting at the Supernatural convention. They've been there, they've done that, and dude, just to hear their stories when they got back and the experiences they had, it just meant everything to me, dude. They had an absolute blast, meeting Sam and Dean, Castiel, all that. But some of the pieces they brought back, they've put me to shame with the little stuff I get from these horror conventions. But yeah, I'd love to show some of it. So here's
I'm always going to dig
Michael.
Supernatural stuff, man.
Thank
so
you,
I definitely want to see these.
So then, here is that angel blade that I had showed you guys. And there it is, like on its stand with all its glory. And this thing is heavy. Heavy. So it's a really cool piece. And I'm big on weight, like when it comes to a collectible, like you can get like some like 3D printed stuff that's super light and stuff. I want some substance to my stuff. Like if I'm holding an angel blade, I want to feel like I got the real deal. I can stab this through your chest.
Yeah.
That's what this baby is. So let me try to make this right. So yeah, they got that baby signed by Castiel, the angel. Yeah. So there that sucker is, man. And they learned something really cool at the convention. That's something I didn't know. So I guess they were in line with a guy a couple different times who does the kind of the same thing that we do, Michael.
Yeah.
And he was there to, kind of, get some autographs. And I think he resells on eBay. But he was talking to my folks for a while, and he said, you absolutely have to use a paint marker. And this guy was not wrong, dude. The next one I'm going to show you was done with a paint marker. And that's what we're going with, like, from now on. Because it's just super vibrant. It pops like no other. And it's, when you're new to this stuff, you don't think about shit like that. It's like, just give me a marker, give me a pen, and sign your autograph. So this is the Colt and the dagger. I'm not a supernatural expert, so this is the Colt and the dagger that I had showed you guys. But look how good this turned out. And this is a yellow paint marker, and that is signed by both Sam and Dean. So Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah, man.
Dude, that yellow, it turned out so good. So yeah, we went ahead, we've bought a whole pack of like paint markers. Because let's face it, man, when you're when you're paying good money for these autographs, dude, you want it to pop.
Yeah.
I've had a few. I'm sure you have too, Michael. I've had a few where I get back, I'm like, it's like faded, it's like, flaking off, and you almost feel like going back and asking the guy if he can redo it. But so yeah, if anybody wants, if I can give them a tip now, go with that paint marker. It is like bam. And I wanted to show some stuff that we have, guys, that I also want to say that I won't do pricing, online or anything, but there's some really cool stuff that we've had for a little bit of time that, I'm willing to, do some really, really good deals on, because sometimes you just got to move some stuff, man.
Right.
But we got some really cool stuff. This right here, this is my dude. This is my dude. As far with me, Texas Chainsaw for me is Gunnar Hansen and Andrew Benarski.
Yeah.
Those are my dudes. Gunnar and Andrew. Those guys. And I'm not saying that, the other ones, I'm not saying they're garbage. They did their thing. There's some really good ones in there. But my favorites is
right.
But this, like, check this hand out. And I mean, we've had this a while. I'm just surprised. But this is like a fake, like, prop bloody hand with the, like, it's got the bone and the blood and guts there, signed by none other than Andrew Benarski, my boy, man.
Oh, that's cool.
Just a really cool piece. And these are pieces that I am really, honestly, like I said, you guys in the chat, if you're ever interested, just reach out. But I've had it quite some time, so I'll definitely give a hell of a deal on that. But just what a piece, man. I love Andrew Benarski. I love their face.
He had the best look to me.
Dude, his presence was so thank you, Liddy. His presence was so intimidating. So intimidating. I'm glad we got 2 films with him, because I highly doubt we'll get any more with him. But it's also his look. His look was just so good. And then this is the last thing we have from Andrew, and it was one of the earlier conventions that I had been to, so I was kind of new and fresh, but I'm thinking I knew Andrew was going to be there. I'm like, what could I have this guy sign for me? So I actually grabbed one of my older 03 Texas Chainsaw DVDs, and he signed it like a freaking beast. I mean, just it looks fantastic. Like he went over it, like scratched some stuff out, went over it again. I just think it looks awesome. But this is another piece, that we've had for quite some time. Dude, I've got $150 on this. At this point, I'd probably sell it for $100. It's certified. That's badass, dude. You can't beat that. But those are the 2 Andrews that we have left. And then, I got just a few other things I can show you guys. I got a few new pieces that hit. But I wanted to show some old things that I think are freaking juggernauts. And a lot of stuff is about like where you have it. Is it sitting in the back? People aren't seeing it. But this is the NECA Terminator T1000, signed by none other than the T1000. And Michael, you could tell your story about this. And
my God, dude, I was there when he got.
I know you got a story for this, but like, check it out. It's so good. It's like this. I think that might even be a paint marker that's in like silver. But that's the NECA freaking Robert Patrick, T1000, dude. Like, and I'm sorry guys about the glare. Trying to show you this stuff as best I can. There's always a pretty good glare on here. Can you see that okay, Michael?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Tell your story about
dude.
that.
I don't know if I want to really get into that one tonight, because I feel like that would be something fun to talk about on the 5K celebration for sure.
Okay.
Definitely one of my favorite convention stories. It's definitely top 5 for sure. And that was the first convention where we hung out together.
I think all of my if I got 5 stories, you're in 4 of them. I'll tell you that much.
Definitely had some moments for sure.
So guys, is this NECA or Trick or Treat Studios? This is NECA. All right, so NECA just dropped a killer Spalding. The last Spalding they did was a like a retro cloth, and I'm not the biggest on the retro cloth, but this one, guys, they freaking knocked out of the park. You need one of these, Michael. But this is a solid. It's got way too. God, why can't I get rid of that glare?
There you go.
Yeah, check that out. He is so good looking. I'm trying to block the glare. Can you guys see that at all?
You can see the top half.
Yeah, what is that? That's messing up that bottom half.
That's the reflection of your computer screen that you're holding that in front of. So
I
like
got you.
that's
Yeah. So yeah, but he is absolutely sick, guys. You know, got his full outfit going on. But those just dropped. And then another one we got is the Ghostface Inferno. And this has actually got my attention. You have you get 4 head sculpts with this Ghostface. You get the chrome, you get the Dead by Daylight, you know, the devil with the horns, you get the traditional, and you get the looks like the old you know, Skeet. God, that glare is bad. Yeah. Can you see that at all, Mikey?
a little bit. Like the chrome face doesn't help with the glare either, you know, but I actually saw it today, so it's a nice piece. There you go.
Did that do it?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Okay. Okay.
I wouldn't say we're
Yeah.
there, but it's definitely
Yeah, and I'll try to work on that, guys. But yeah, all this stuff available. I think that's the last of it. No, I got one more killer piece that you'll love. Jason right there, CJ Graham.
Oh, you said Jason.
Dude, Jason, CJ Graham. And I'm gonna work hard on this lighting for you guys. Michael, this is another piece that I can do some price cutting. I enjoy doing price cutting, guys. Like I love making people happy. Like, you know, in a business you have to make money. Don't get me wrong, but when you can cut some prices on a cool deal, make someone super happy, dude. But this here is the so that is the Cinema of Fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Jason. Do you see that choking Tommy?
Oh, okay.
God, what do I do? Go cover that lamp up. Get rid of it. Is it the lamp?
I think it's the actual computer screen because I can see.
Well, what do I do
like,
about the
show.
computer screen?
Oh, no.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's him choking Tommy at the bottom of the lake. It's a figure of that, Michael, where he's
that's nice.
Yeah, signed by none other than CJ Graham. Dude, the figure alone goes for some pretty good bucks. But it's another one, man, where I've had for a long time. So
yeah,
absolutely willing to chop some money off of that bad boy. Or the more I look at it, I just might end up in my own collection. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thank you for letting me show that stuff. And guys, if you do want any of that stuff, I'm not lying when I said, you know, I've had it for a while, and I'll give you a killer deal. And I love you guys on here, so I'll absolutely hook you up the best I can. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
thanks for letting me show that.
Of course.
We are always trying to keep some cool stuff going in there. Yeah, Michael.
Hell yeah. And Paula has asked, what would you guys like to see happen with Scream 7? Whew, that's a tough one for me.
That's where I would ask. I'd want to ask Lydia that first. Because I want to hear, before I even speak, I want to hear from a true Scream fan.
Mm.
You know, I'm not a true Scream fan. I like them. I enjoy them. I like that they come out, but I can't call myself a true.
I mean, it's kind of hard for me with Scream because I was so invested in the original characters. So if I were to say anything, Paula, I would say find a way to incorporate what made the first Scream so good. And I know that's kind of like a cop-out answer, but it's like capture. I know you really can't Wes Craven a movie without Wes Craven. He's no longer with us, but it just had the original Scream just had so much personality to it. And if you're gonna make something new, you're not gonna follow the old stuff. Just make it like relatable and somewhat realistic, and just focus on telling a good story with Scream involved somehow. Like it's tough. It's definitely tough. I'm not a big fan of like the whole cult of Ghostface type thing. I feel like we're too far along for something like that, in my opinion, of course. But I just want them to do something original, but yet paying homage to like what made the original Scream so well. Hopefully that kind of answered what you were looking for.
I think you actually, and I'm not the guy to talk about Scream. So I'm just gonna say that right off the rip. But what you said right off the bat, Michael, and you weren't wrong. It's what it was about that first one. They had a killer cast. They had a killer cast, and they made the connections with them in the story very relatable, fun. With Randy is a huge key, if you ask me. Yeah. When you had that horror nerd in there that we all could relate to, talking about the rules of the horror, dude. His character was written like, what I'm saying, just beautifully, if you ask me. So you're not wrong there. Put some of that in there. Don't just rewrite Randy. But like we can talk about this all day till we're blue in the face. I'm not saying I can do it, and I know you're not saying that as well, but they do need some of that. They need the characters we can relate to. Scream's, in my opinion, Scream's always been about, paying, tribute to horror fans and the genre itself. Give us those, little, Easter eggs or whatnot about, horror and all that. But I think we need characters that we care about. I think that's the key, in my opinion. And I don't know jack shit. But I think we need
character driven. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the consistency with Scream, and we've talked about this many times, is the cast, not the killer, right? So you're gonna want that cast, as you were saying, that you could relate to, and that was good, because those are the things that are gonna pull you in. It's a complete different than like Halloween or Friday the 13th, to where you're there to see Jason chop up some new kids. No, you're here in this to see, that cast that you like so much. They're the ones that come back. And I think that if they make it a little more realistic, like you looked at, the last Scream, and, Chad got stabbed 165 times and he was fine at the end, take away stuff like that and make there have some sort of potential like risk involved. Like you saw the girl get gutted on the subway. She was fine. You saw Chad get stabbed all those times. He was fine. And it was just like at the end, it's like, tune in to Scream 7. We'll be back.
Dude, that stuff was nuts, Michael. I don't. Yeah. I don't know.
Good night, Michelle. Thank you.
It seemed a very, I don't know. It seemed very amateurish to me. Like, I just don't know why they did that. It was so blown over the top with the people who were gutted, and okay. 5 minutes later, like, just take some Advil, dude. You'll walk it off. You were stabbed 11 times. Okay, what do you do? It was crazy. It was so over the top. I don't know what they were doing with that, but I don't know. I don't know.
And just all those little things, like those are the things that Michael would want to see. You know what I mean? Just me. And I know everybody's different. Some people like that stuff, and that's cool. But asking me what I think, that's definitely the direction I would go. With Scream moving forward, just make it like realistic. You know what I mean?
I'd love it to be more. I'd love it to be a little bit more realistic. You know, you can stretch it with a horror movie. Don't get me wrong, you can stretch it.
Yeah.
But damn. But, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But
think that stab on the subway started at her belly button and went to her freaking gullet. Like, jeez.
oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, just yeah. I agree, but Scream does not have my, my heart. My heart's not in Scream. I'd love to talk about it with you guys.
Hell yeah. Chris is asking, I might be the only one, but I'd really love to see a new Pumpkinhead movie. Seeing that on Matt's shelf has me want to watch it again when I get home.
Oh, dude, Chris, who are you telling? Who are you telling? I'm glad you spotted this up here, dude. It's one of my absolute grails in my collection. It's a freaking whole huge pumpkin head. And I've always been a fan. Just such a great creature feature. Such a great creature feature. And done by none other than Stan Winston. He's a beast when it comes to, he's done Terminator, Jurassic Park, Pumpkinhead. The list goes on. And I'm right there with you, buddy. I would love it. And especially if they could get somebody behind it that kept Pumpkinhead all practical, dude. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I mean, how good could it look now? You know what I mean? Compared to then. Like, it looked decent back then.
It did.
But, I mean, it could be. Yeah.
It did. It's like I like to go back to Bruce from Jaws, dude. Bruce looked pretty damn good, and a lot better than some of the CGI sharks you see in these cheap movies still today. Like, you can do a lot when you have the right team with practical. And I'm okay if they throw, a little CGI in, like with a Pumpkinhead. You might get a little for some of his movements or something like that. But I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm dying for a new Pumpkinhead.
Oh yeah, and Jerry came through as well, saying I'd welcome a remake of Wrong Turn.
Well, hell, didn't they just redo that, or kind of.
Yeah. Well, Matt, dude, tonight was a blast. I'm about ready to wrap up for the night, and dude, talking about this stuff, and next week as well. It'll definitely be a pretty long show next week, I'm sure, celebrating the 5,000 subscribers. Definitely looking forward to all the games we're going to play and hanging out with everyone. But tonight, going over this horror news and, looking at, the stuff that you have at Mad Matt's Matt, dude, that freaking Sam and Dean Colt and Blade, that thing looks freaking amazing. It looks absolutely amazing, dude. Like that's somebody's gonna have that in their collection. It's gonna look nice.
Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. That's all Mad Mom and Dad, dude. Almost had that sold this weekend to some good friends. They're gonna think about it, maybe put it in layaway and stuff. But yeah, it's just a one of a kind piece.
Yeah, dude. It's to have the Colt in there, dude. Like that's such a big part of early Supernatural.
Yeah,
it's just freaking. That was a fantastic idea to get that done that way. Love it, man. And the paint looked good on it, man. That's absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to
thank you, dude. I'm just so glad to be back on here, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you for having me, buddy, and congrats again, Michael, on 5,000. I can't even, honestly, I can't really fathom it. It's nuts. Like I told you this weekend, I remember us sitting in the food court there at Trader's World. Like, could you imagine if we got 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah, I know, right?
If we could hit that, or like just, and dude, it's I've seen you over the time, man. I've seen you worn out from what you do. But seriously, man, pat yourself on the back, dude. You've done some really killer work, I know it's, everybody's effort, and especially, everybody that comes back to us, dude, but you have put in some serious time, and I know I'm not alone when I say that. I appreciate it. I know the fans do as well. So yeah, man, congrats, brother.
Thank you. I'll talk to you for just a quick minute backstage before we get off of here, but I want to say thanks to everybody that came to hang out with us here on Sunday night. Always enjoy the Sunday night show, man. This is where it started. The Sunday show will always be here. And I can't wait for next week, dude. I cannot wait. I'm so excited about it. But unless you have anything else to wrap up before we wrap up, Matt.
One thing, one simple thing, for anybody on there right now, or that comes to check us out, at Traders World, we are moving, guys, one more time, and I promise you, this is the last move we're gonna do. But we do have a move coming, and you'll be able to find us within the next 2 weeks. So within 2-3 weeks, we should be moved. But you will be able to find Mad Matt's mask in the south entrance in the main aisle. So you'll come in the south entrance, and if you come in the south entrance shortly after in the main aisle, you'll see us up on the left. So we're trying to come to the busier side. We're all in with this. So that's what we have going on. We got a pretty big move coming. But that's all I have. But that's where you guys will be able to find us if you want to come, check out some of our horror stuff. That is all I have. Thank you for having me, Michael. I seriously did miss all you guys. And it's great to be back.
Yeah, man. Great to be back. Can't wait to see the next show either. So, all right. With that being said, we will see you guys next time.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
I don't even need to play it now. You said it. I could just end the stream right there.
Toodaloo, motherfucker. Hey.